I should be called Modongo wa Kenya. So it's a journey, and I'm extremely happy to stand before you this afternoon to speak to you because I believe in divine connection. Because it is not by coincidence that the Office of the Government Spokesperson has a team building retreat, and then you have the training for the coastal region, and then also we are in the same venue, and we are trying to deal with the national crisis of the emerging flood situation. So that is quite amazing. And I was with the lead from GIZ in Homa Bay. Again, we had gone there to do the county visit. It was our first county visit with my friend Gladys Atieno Nyasuna Wanga, my fellow former student leader at KU. And again, we met there. So now that you have insisted, we must partner together. But most importantly also, this young man called Temesi, who was assisting Kanzedena at the State House. He used to work before in a part of the office of the government spokesman, the National Government Communication Center, which now is what we are rejuvenating. I think you have seen, me when I'm giving the weekly updates. You see behind the National Government Communication Center. We really want to have centralized communication. And so therefore, the Kenya Editors Guild, I'm very proud of you that you are trying to help the clubs. I'm aware, that we have clubs in all of the 47 counties, and we look forward to working with you to ensure that we improve relationship between the media, the journalists, and the government. I fully subscribe to our partnership because we have the message. We are the messenger, but you have the channel. And what we are asking is not you to report and become a praise and worship team of the government. What we want you to do is to give, both sides of the story. From those who think otherwise, and ourselves. Maybe they are not both sides, maybe there are 3 or 4 angles, but equally be the arbiters and moderators. Hear out, because the members of the fourth estate have really been very critical in making this country move forward. And I myself, as Martin Masai has said, the managing editor of Mbaito and a trustee of Kenya Editors Guild, I actually consider myself a product of the media, because every time I meet people, they tell me, tumekuona kwa TV, tumekuona kwa TV, everywhere. Even some of you, I was with you when you were having, 10 o'clock tea, and they're saying, but I saw you yesterday, then I saw you yesterday evening on TV, and I was wondering whether you are the same person, because they're wondering how is that happening. Yes, because I have to, even when I'm here, to provide the official government position, and we coordinate that. Like right now, His Excellency the President is in my Mahiu, and I have to make sure that all the information that is being given from government sources is one and the same. And you'll find that whatever I've released today, because we had a press briefing again here with Citizen TV47. I think we had Masita came, I can see her here, and others. It's the same one that you see also with the Ministry of Interior, because government must speak as one. So really, this is quite timely. This is quite timely because the office, I hear some people speaking. Honestly, why would you be speaking when I'm making my speech? Surely. Or I should stop and go away. It's very rude, honestly. Yeah. Anyway. So I am very, very delighted to be with you because you are great people. And I really, really hope and believe that we can work together towards this. Why is it important? Why is it important? Because honestly, this March, April, May rainfall is a question of climate change. Yeah, it is climate change. We know we receive this rainfall, but it is now above normal. In fact, as we are speaking, maybe it has ended. At 3 o'clock, there was another presser by Dr. Gikungu, the director of the Kenya Meteorological Department, because then he's going to give us the next forecast for the next 7 days, because they give it on a weekly basis so that it can be accurate. And it is part of our news. I mean, you've done it very well as journalists to ensure that as you're editing what is a bulletin, there is always that section of the weather. You know, sometimes I joked with my friend here, Donald Agwenge, you can stand. Donald, because he's the one who prepares my speeches most of the time. Thank you, Donald Agwenge Odiwor. That I am starting to sound like the weatherman. When he's preparing those notes for me. So, but you see, now that is a reality of our time. We cannot have news without talking about the weather. But now, what kind of weather? Because before you just think it's part of part of news. I think we remember somebody called Guata Francis, and those days where sometimes it used to be very embarrassing. I don't know, Gen Z can connect with this, but it used to be very embarrassing, Patricia Dende, when ilikuwa inawekwa tumbao alafu tunaanguka alafu mtu anachukua. I'm sure you remember those kind of incidences. But now it's become more scientific in terms of predictability. But climate change, sustainable development, exploitation or utilization of our natural resources, overheating of the earth, flooding, distorted weather patterns, loss of livelihoods, loss of lives, loss of everything. Increase in the further marginalization of the most vulnerable communities, but not just communities, but indeed countries and continents. It's unfortunate that we are bearing the brunt of other people's development. And when now we have to also wanting to develop using the same forms of energy, we are being told to stop. So it's a very tricky conversation because we also need to develop. But then also there's an opportunity of leapfrogging our development by once again taking advantage of our natural energy sources, renewable ones like solar, like wind, like geothermal and water. But then we need to humanize that which is happening. We need also to put into context the effects of climate change on our economies, because it's clearly now a financing issue. Right now, I got a call in the morning from the manager of Safari Park, and he was telling me to tell the international media to go slow because of the way they are reporting about the flood situation in the country, because most of the guests are either canceling or asking for maximum security. You see, now, it's just an economic question. Yet, before he called me, I had received a call from BBC wanting to confirm the number of, the situation, the number of fatalities. It's unfortunate that we've lost 169 people by now. After that, Larry Madowo was there also wanting to get information from me, that kind of thing. So you can see, it's not just climate change, it's actually climate everything. Kwa Kiswahili, unajua sema utabiri wa hali ya ni hewa ama ni anga? Nyinyi ni wa pwani, ni anga ama ni hewa? Basi hewa ya leo iko namna gani? I hope you can get that joke. I think hali ya anga, hali ya hewa sidhani. But it is about everything, climate everything, because it's about the status of our Mother Earth. It's about the status of Earth. Man in dust and dust he shall return. Then what can we do to make it work for us? It's a serious conversation. It's about the progress of a nation. And you are the ones who are telling the story. You are the one who are the interlocutors of conversations. I am the government spokesman, but I want to tell you part of the reason why somebody may say that Isaac Mwaura can speak English is because I used to get Daily Nation every day when I was young from my mother. Not that she could afford it, she just used to be a senior person, so she would get a copy and come with it at home. But it really helped me. So you can see how you influence people. And my worldview has been shaped a lot by international media, BBC, Deutsche Welle, because I used to listen to that program a lot. But also, I am one of you. Actually, I have a background in communications. Let me say this. I have done public relations and communication from Kim. I have also been a PR officer for quite a number of organizations, but also started the public relations and communications department of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities from scratch. In fact, one of my interns now is the head of communications at the Law Society of Kenya. You'll also be surprised to learn that also at some point I almost became a radio presenter. Again with Ali Modao, but also Gadonio Mushombo is now a member of parliament. There is a station there we have started again with John Mutudo called Bahasha FM. And also I write for the Star every Friday. I think you see some of my articles. And also for 10 years, I've done a program with Radio Jambo, Mazungumzo Waziwazi, every Saturday. And I think I saw one of my friends here who was part of us. I think he's now on Baraka FM, digital. Yeah. So we have been at it, of course, many TV and radio, what have you, and also now leading the government spokesperson's office. And I can tell you, it's really the government PR and advertising agency. Basically, what is our role? Is number one is to tell or to state the official government position. To state the official government position. That is our mandate, so that we clarify. And that means if you get conflicting information, refer to our office. It doesn't matter who has spoken in government, we will tell you what is the official position. Number two is to tell the government story. To tell the government story. And so therefore is explaining, breaking down, all those all that which pertains to that. But then that therefore means the Kenya Editors Guild, the journalists, the presenters, you are a very key stakeholder in this regard. The Public Relations Society of Kenya, who is, in fact, one of your members is now my staffer, Lydia Rosasi. So that then we work together. And I want to ask you, Martin, of course, in partnership again with GIZ, GIZ, if you can hear me, we actually do a partnership so that we work together with you so that we can build capacity on our relationship with the media. I think that's very important, and that is one of the asks that I saw here, so that we can leverage on resources going forward. Because we need both the brick and mortar, the bread and butter, and also the real technical work that needs to be done. Research around what is it that takes to transform government communications. I do not subscribe to the school of thought that we should have hostilities towards one another. That one, I want to tell you for sure, is not the position of the Office of the Government Spokesperson. I want to tell you that we are very keen to improve on your relations because we are joined in the hip. There is no way I can do my work successfully without you, whether you're in the mainstream media or the new media that is popularly known as social media. So allow me, so that then I finish, to read the speech that I have here, because it can only be so that then we can hear what really are the thoughts that my team and I have with regards to this. The ongoing media training on climate reporting is a partnership between the Ministry of Education, Climate Change and Forestry, GIZ, and the Kenya Editors Guild as part of Post-Africa Climate Summit. Communication activities aimed at enhancing the capacity of the Kenyan media to report climate action effectively as a priority of the Kenya Kwanza administration. The other intervention was a recently concluded series of televised town hall meetings during which climate action conversations were taken to the grassroots with a view of empowering local communities with information needed to help them find local solutions to negative impacts of climate change affecting them, as well as identifying policy and intervention gaps from the national and county government action. The Mombasa two-day training is the last of 3 baseline engagements with journalists to establish knowledge gaps in climate reporting in order to inform the development of Kenya's first curriculum on climate change reporting. The next steps after the Mombasa training will be the finalization of the curriculum that will include stakeholder validation, followed by the rollout of a series of media trainings for journalists and editors, starting with the training of trainers, that will be cascaded to the lowest level across the country. The ultimate objective is to develop a pool of competent climate reporters and editors that will drive Kenya's climate action agenda that include the 15 billion national tree growing program anchored in the 10-year national landscape and ecosystem restoration strategy, transition of Kenya's troubled linear wastage management model into circular economy, strengthening of Kenya's geopolitical positioning as the environmental capital of the world, and accelerating ongoing policy and legal reforms to address our country's pressing climate action priorities. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the fourth estate, because of the centrality and increasing negativity that is coming with the impact of climate change on Kenya's socioeconomic performance, as can be seen through the current devastating floods that have disrupted and almost affected all the sectors of the economy, including yesterday's postponement of the reopening of schools. It is of utmost importance that all Kenyans, including the Office of the Government Spokesperson, which is the National Government Communication Center, to work together through the whole of government approach in order to ensure that people participate in finding solutions to the climate crisis facing our economy and country today. I therefore commit that my office will be part of the climate reporting partnership between the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, GIZ, and the Kenya Editors Guild. We would want to join you so that as you are doing the media trainings across the counties, we can also plug in and also have that other element of government relations, government communications, and I'm sure Temesi will work with you. And I am now fully committing myself. Patricia Dede, you are here. Let us work in some kind of partnership and some rollout so that it's a component GIZ and we do it together, because that is the essence of our engagement. I thank you and God bless you. Now, with those many and few remarks, it is my distinguished privilege and honor to declare this two-day climate action workshop between the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, the Kenya Editors Guild and GIZ officially closed. It is also my privilege to declare that after the closure, people can spend time in Mombasa and make sure they go to the beach, but they exercise caution so that they don't drown apart from the flowing waters or other forms of waters. Thank you.